Hey folks, welcome back to our Dice Tower preview. I'm Mark, and today we're taking a look at Tinner's Trail, the Remastered Edition. Now this Remastered Edition is brought to you by Alley Cat Games. It's for 1 to 5 players, ages 13 and up, and games range anywhere from 60 to 90 minutes. In Tinner's Trail, each player represents a growing mining operation in 19th century Cornwall, seeking to profit from the rich tin and copper deposits of the region. Over the course of 4 rounds, players will build mines, acquire developments, extract ore, sell the tin and copper, and invest the proceeds to earn points. The player with the most points at the end of the game is the winner. This edition of Tinner's Trail differs from the original 2008 version in several ways. The player count, for example, is now 1 to 5 instead of 3 to 4. And the resources on the board are now set up via tiles instead of dice rolls to maintain variability while reducing the randomness. Dual-use cards are now an important part of the game, giving you information before an auction or an extra boost after an auction. The game includes 2 expansions, with the Arsenic expansion introducing a new resource and the Immigration expansion seeing miners travel overseas. First, let's take a look at this new board. It is absolutely beautiful. Such a huge improvement over the original game. Now, it has all the areas you'd expect from that original game. You've got the work track where you'll be spending your work points in order to do actions. And then you have your action summary in very clear icons what these different actions do and how many points is required to activate those. And then you have a development panel where you'll be putting the different resources. And these development panels will be swapping out based on the player count in the game. So there's some variation there as well. And then you have your ore prices. And this is the place where you still be rolling dice to determine those prices. And then you have the investment track, as well as around the board, you have your scoring and the track doubles as your money track. So those are really nice upgrades to this game, just really improves the look and feel of the game immensely. And then you have the survey cards and you have your different area tiles. And this is one of the big changes, is that these area tiles, some will start face up and it's kind of random, but the others will be face down where you have to go into auctions to do certain things. But the resources for the different mines are dictated by these panels, or I should say area tiles. So that's a nice enhancement to the game as well. And then you have all your various pieces that track the different mines in the player's colors, as well as the miners, and you have the trains and so forth. So all these different pieces look so good in this remastered version. And of course, you're having cubes still for the tin, the copper, and water. So each round of the game has 4 phases. Phase 1, you'll be rolling the dice to set the ore price, both tin and copper. Then phase 2 is the action phase. And this is really, the meat of the game. And again, taking a look at the upgraded board, you can see the icons that guide you through each action. Also being mindful of work points as you perform actions. The player that is furthest to the left on the track is always the active player, which may result in that player performing multiple actions. Or if tied for worker points, the player at the top of the order is the active player. So let's take a brief look at some of these actions. Now, you always need to be mindful that you have the work points and potentially money to spend to fulfill these actions. Now, the big action here, as you can imagine, is building mines, or entering into auctions to earn the right to build mines. So during the auction part of this action, you may be blind bidding if the tile is face down, as you are unaware of how well the mine produces. As the active player, you can also play a survey card matching that region, as long as the area tile is face down, which also will give you bonuses like increasing production, but also allowing you to peek at the tile before bidding begins. And once the tile is revealed, it will show what resources you need to set up the mine. And make sure to place a mine of your color on that space, assuming you can pay the cost. Next, let's take a look at extracting ore. Now, each mine has a base extraction capacity of 2, but each miner, port, or train in the area adds 1 to that capacity. But each cube you extract will cost pounds sterling in the amount of water currently at the mine. Every time you extract, you will be adding a water cube to that site. But you need to get those resources out of the ground for selling and investing later in the round. Now, the development action is all about adding more miners, ports, trains, steam pumps, or an adit to the board. These are taken from the development board and can be placed anywhere on the map, and each development will have its own cost. But miners, ports, and trains add to the extraction capacity of the mine. An adit will connect two adjacent areas and allow you to add 1 tin and 1 copper to each of those areas. Steam pumps are not added to the board, but instead return to the supply, but for each pump, you can remove 1 water cube from that area. Or you can sell pasties. Generally, these were made by the miners' wives historically, but this is a way to earn just a little bit of extra money, £1 sterling. Or you can simply pass, and if you are out of work points, then you must pass. But passing also determines the investment order for the next phase. Phase 3 then is selling and investing. You'll take a look at what tin and copper are currently worth, and you'll gather that amount of coin based on what ore you pulled from the ground. Then taking turns, you can invest, which will earn you victory points, and you can spend £5 or £10 sterling to gain points. Now, again, this is your main goal, but you have to weigh that with coin needed to continue your mining operation. Now, phase 4 is just the end of the round, and it's a bit of a cleanup phase. So you're removing dev pieces from the development board that were not used, and refilling steam pumps, and all the players' discs are moved back to the work track. So those are the 4 main phases, and the player with the most points after 4 rounds wins the game. Now, the 2 new expansions are Arsenic, which introduces a new but dangerous resource to be mined, but with greater returns. And the Immigration expansion allows your workers or miners to take the skills overseas, giving you an ongoing benefit like regular income or free developments or extra investments throughout the game. Alright folks, just a reminder once again, this has been a Dice Tower paid preview, and everything you've seen here has been in prototype form, so keep a close eye on the campaign for any changes that still may occur. Now, with that said, this new version, the new board, and the expansions and things really add a lot more depth to the game, and it's absolutely beautiful. Oh my gosh, the table presence here is going to be great, and I know they're still making enhancements to this, and I think they're going to be enlarging some of the things as well. So I really liked the improvements they've made around this game. It makes me excited to play. But folks, ultimately, if this was like something that would be of interest to you, I'm sure they'd appreciate your support. So I think that's it from me, and until next time, we'll see you at the table.